Hey, I'm Rob from JestaThaRogue.com and I'm going to show you how to play The Dark Quarter spoiler free. This is a game for 1 to 4 players and is published by Lucky Duck Games. You play as gritty investigators uncovering supernatural secrets in 1980s New Orleans. You work together to solve the mystery in each scenario. Get to the finale in the final scenario to determine your fate and bring the story to a close. And also remember to like, share and subscribe, or I get Constance to hex your Wi-Fi. This video is spoiler free. Anything shown comes from the setup of the very first scenario of the game, plus a little bit more for clarity, but it's all from the very beginning of the game. Before anything else, download the app on your device of choice. If you're playing on a PC, you'll need to also have a camera so you can scan cards. For the physical setup, put the city board in the middle of the table. Put the story, consumable, location cards in face down decks. They're numbered so no need to shuffle as you will draw them by number via the app. Put the experience tokens, location, point of interest and finale marker on the table. Keep NPC markers and any miniatures, if you have the miniatures expansion, in the box for easy access. The miniatures expansion just replaces some of the cardboard NPCs with plastic. It's purely aesthetic. From now on, setup and eventually gameplay will be guided by the app. Open it up and select a campaign to play. Confirm that you own the board game with the slider and select a new game. Select miniatures to add them into the game if you have that expansion. Also select any additional campaigns if you have them, if you want to add that content into your game. Next, choose your time pressure, high, medium or low. This determines how long you have to make time choices, between 10 and 60 seconds. Now these time choices are usually pivotal to the story, and if you don't pick one in time, the app will pick for you. Highlight the characters you'll use in the game. You can't change, add or remove characters during a scenario, so make sure you choose correctly. And if you're playing solo, you need to select a minimum of 2 characters. Each player takes their character board, mini, 2 large main dice, 3 small effort dice and markers in their colour. Put the 2 main dice and 1 effort dice in an available space above the tracks. Put the other dice and the character markers above the character board. They also take their deck of ability cards for their character. The app will tell you where to put skill cubes on the tracks. Do this for all 4 tracks. For example, John places green cubes at positions 4, 7 and 9 in the green talent track. Do that on the physical board and repeat in the other 3 different cube colours for the other 3 tracks. The app will show you which starting items to take. Put them to the left of your character board. For example, John starts with card number 1, money, and card number 16, crowbar. Some item cards such as money have more than 1 copy in the deck, just take any one of them. Players repeat this for the other characters in the game. Next you'll be walked through the 3 steps of selecting your starting ability card. Select one of the 2 starting ability cards, those marked with an S. Put it to the right of your character board face up as unlocked and available to use. Put the other starter near your board face down and locked. It can be purchased later to unlock the card. Put the rest of your ability cards board locked and unavailable. As a quick note while we're talking about ability cards, if it has this silver icon it means you must decide to use it before rolling dice, and if it has this gold icon it can be used to benefit another player on their turn. Then you'll be asked to confirm setup. The app will show you the backstory of the scenario which you read aloud to all players. Then you'll go through setting up the board, which involves several points of interest markers that come in a few types: generic, finale, NPC tokens and NPC minis. If a mini is required, it will show the mini and its number so you know which one to get out of the box. Get the correct numbered mini out of the box, put it on the board in roughly the same area as shown on the app. It will tell you where to place the character minis to start the game. When placing point of interest tokens, again, place them roughly in the right place and purple side up. The app will determine the turn order and show whose turn it is. That player is the active player. Remember, anything you see digitally is public information and should be read out loud. A turn is played over 3 steps: refresh, scan and interact. Refresh, this is mandatory. Move 1 effort die from exhausted off of your board to available on your board. You'll be reminded to do this at the start of your turn. If all 3 effort dice are already on your board, you can skip this step. Throughout the game you may be asked to refresh a die outside of this phase. Just move it from off your board to on your board as available in the same way. The second step is scan. This is the only optional step. Click the scan icon in the top left to open the camera. Then scan the item's QR code and follow the instructions on screen. The information may be useful or useless, but be sure to read it out to all players. When scanning, you can scan consumable cards or story cards that are available to you, but you can't scan a card in another player's personal inventory. Depending on the item and situation, it could have several effects, which may even include leading to an event that could eventually end the player's turn. Usually though, you go to phase 3, interact with point of interest. This is also mandatory. Tap the point of interest on the app. If it's unexplored, it will ask you to flip over the point of interest marker so you know it's been explored at least once. If unexplored, there may be additional setup for this location, which could involve adding a location card and pieces to that card. Based on experience, you need to leave room for at least 10 of these location cards around the board, so just keep that in mind. There may also be several connected together to make one larger location, just follow the app's instructions. Move your character mini to the point of interest on the physical map. This is important because you do need to know which characters are in the same location as you when you're taking your turn. Some locations and points of interest are character specific, shown with a character marker placed next to the token. You will be prompted when to add these, and only that character can interact with that point of interest. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the different types of interaction, most of them are fairly self-explanatory, just follow the app's instructions. But one thing I do need to cover, as it happens a lot, are skill tests, so let's have a look at those now, as well as looking at the skill tracks in detail. These use the green talent, red combat, purple arcane and yellow charisma tracks. Players will have 3 skill cubes on each of their tracks at the start of the game. As the game progresses, skills can be improved by moving them to the left or degraded by moving them to the right. The icons will show as a reminder which way to move the cube and will always apply to the weakest, meaning the rightmost cube. White is any track, a colour refers to that particular track, and the number of arrows is the number of spaces. Only one cube can be in a slot at a time, so if you're going to move one cube onto another cube, instead you'll move that cube out of the way, and then your next movement point you'll be able to move your rightmost cube up one more space. I hope that makes sense. If the leftmost cube gets to the end, it can't be moved anymore. If the rightmost cube moves off the track, return it to the supply. You can never have fewer than one cube on a skill track. When performing a skill test, roll your 2 main dice and any number of available effort dice. You can also use any number of available effort dice from other characters at your location if they allow it, which is why it's important to know where everybody is on the map. For each skill cube equal to or less than the total rolled on the relevant track, there is 1 success. For example, here John rolls 7, and 2 of his green cubes are in slots 4 and 7. That's 2 successes. Fleur-de-lis counts as 0 for the total, but adds 1 success to the total number of successes. Stars on either dice count as 0 for the total, but can be modified with abilities. For example, Arcane Prodigy adds 2 for the total for each pair of stars rolled. After rolling and applying any bonuses from abilities or items you used, add the number of successes into the app. It will tell you the result, show you any effects or any setup steps or anything else that may need to be done after the skill test. As I said, I'm not going to go into all the different interactions because most of them are straightforward, but I do want to look at the purchase interaction, which allows you to spend usually 1 money card to buy an item. Return the money back to the item deck and add the newly purchased item from the item deck to your play area. Most of the time you can continue till you run out of money or there are no more items to buy. Once a player is finished, the next player will take their turn, the app will tell you when your turn is over and who's next. Finally is the finale. When entry to the finale becomes available on the app, any player can click on it to go to the finale. Once one player enters, all players will join at that location and will be considered to be at that location. Follow the instructions, but be careful it does not follow the usual turn flow. This will usually end the scenario, and if it's the final scenario, we'll end the game. Okay, before we look at intermissions, I want to look at the team inventory. The team inventory is a space on the table containing the items belonging to all players. Most XP gained will end up in the common pool in the team inventory. Consumable cards will always belong to a character and can be exchanged with other characters. The app and the card itself will say when they can be used and are returned to the deck when consumed. Any number of consumable cards can be used at once alongside character abilities, but each thing needs to be resolved fully before moving on to the next one. And if you need to get a consumable card out of the deck but no more copies left, you can't have it. You will be told if a story card is in the personal inventory or the team inventory. If in the personal inventory, it cannot be exchanged with another player. Throughout the game, there will be several moments when intermissions occur during a scenario or after a finale. Follow the app to perform these 5 steps. 1. Divide the experience in the team inventory evenly among all players. If uneven, add experience to the pool from the supply so everyone gets the same amount. After the first intermission in scenarios 1, 2 and 3, take the ability cards of that number and add them to your other available cards. 3. Upgrade by moving and adding skill cubes to your skill track and or unlocking new abilities. Moving cubes costs 2 to 4 experience depending on the slot it moves into, as shown above the track. For example, moving a cube from 8 to 7 costs 3 XP and moving from 7 to 6 costs 4 XP. It costs 2 experience to add a new cube to slot 12 of a track. And you can never have more than 4 cubes on a single track. To gain an ability, pay 3 XP, this is shown in the top left of the card. When gaining an ability, you need to discard one available but locked ability out of the game permanently. It will go back to the box and will never become available again. Put the new ability card face up next to the character board. Any unspent experience stays on that player's board, ready for the next intermission. 4. Refresh any used once per intermission abilities. If this intermission is at the end of the scenario, also refresh once per scenario abilities. 5. You can then choose to collect save and exit or continue. If you click continue, you'll continue with the game. If you click save now or any time during the game, the app will go through the process of saving the game status. You'll track all your current stats, any cards you've got in play and your experience, etc. When you go back into the game and continue, it will go through them again so you can set the game back up. After the finale of the final scenario, the game will end and that's how you play the Dark Quarter. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when a new video goes live. You can follow me on Insta and YouTube at JestaThaRogue and find the blog at JestaThaRogue.com. I've been Rob aka JestaThaRogue. I'll see you soon.